To make this day possible. I'd like to start by doing that and giving thanks to the members of the Library of Michigan and all their cooperation in making this come together, as well as the Library of Michigan Foundation, Department of Education. As with a lot of things, we couldn't do what we do here without the help and support of the Abrams Foundation and Tiffany and Kyle. Right, Sophia, thank you so much for being here today to represent the family. Thank you for your support. We couldn't obviously do this without your support. So we're very grateful. And then, last but not least, the Michigan Genealogical Council and all the other supportive societies and membership groups that have been counseling us, talking to us about this with concerns, suggestions over the past, I guess we're going on 3 years now. So, but thank you to you. Thank you for being here today. We look forward to serving you tomorrow. And I think as a testament to our undying quest for public service, we felt it was important to hold the ceremony here, even though we are open for public research right now, and we may have researchers wondering what the heck we're doing. That's okay. We can do both, and we will. I want to spend just a few minutes to clue you in, if you haven't talked to me already, about what our plans are. Some people might think, how the heck are you going to pull this off? And so behind you, you can see we've cleared out lots of walls. And as part of our tour at the end, we'll peek in there and I'll explain to you how we're actually going to orient the collection to this space. We have our new microfilm operation in the front, and we're actually going to be adding more cabinets to that next week. We have improved technical capabilities through both agreements with Library of Michigan and through private donors, which we're really appreciative of. So we're excited about being the custodians of this new collection, and look forward to serving the public and growing the collection with the help of the Abrams Foundation. And that is my segue to also say we couldn't go on this new venture without our new staff member, Chris Ripzinski. Chris, are you here somewhere? Chris has been a champion of this collection, along with Randy Riley, and has really been our touchstone through the whole transition period. And I've seen, as well as Sandra has seen, his passion for this collection and for this topic. He's spoken locally and nationally, and we're just really excited to have him as part of our team to help us learn and grow with the collection. So thank you, Chris, for joining us, and we look forward to working with you. Okay.
Are you taller than me? No, just
I'd like to offer a few moments for a few select groups to offer comments, and Tom, I think, Self is going to start with comments from the Michigan Genealogical Council.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody in this room, for your support these last 2.5 years. Special mention to Cynthia Grostic, and to the staff of the archives, and to the Abrams Foundation and the Library of Michigan for making this day possible. Without all of these three main groups working together, this day would not be possible. On behalf of the Michigan Genealogical Council, we would like to offer a certificate in recognition of the contributions of Barbara Brown to further genealogy research, education, and especially the Abrams Genealogy Collection at the Library of Michigan, Archives of Michigan, and Seeking Michigan.
If I'd known I didn't have a podium, I wouldn't have wrote my notes on envelopes. So I apologize for that. But first of all, I want to welcome everyone here today. As Mark indicated, I'm here with my family. I've got my mother, Kyle Abbott, my daughter, Sophia Patzer, and my uncle, Craig Brown, who are here today in memory and honor of my grandmother. So thank you all for attending this wonderful day and wonderful conference. For us, it's a bittersweet day, absolutely, that is a long time coming. Being back here brought back a lot of memories of being here with my grandmother, of hearing her talk about being here. Obviously, the collection in the library means so much to her, and its accessibility and safety meant so much to her. And a couple years back, she was even here marching and standing outside of the library herself to protect it and fight for it. So we are just all pleased to be here in honor of the ribbon cutting of the future home of the Abrams collection. My grandmother, along with the Library of Michigan, and specifically Randy and Chris, and before them Carol Callard, worked and put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into building the Abrams collection. At the height of her research, she was here several times a week, numerous times a week, doing her own research long before she even started to participate in and build the collection. I see many of you nodding your heads. She might have been sitting right next to you. Her passion and her love for family history research was much more than a hobby, as I'm sure it is for most of you. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It is who she was. And we as her family didn't always understand that. She lived her passion right up until her passing. Right up until her passing, she was doing research. She was fighting for the library. She was worrying about the future of the collection. At that time, she also, kind of as a show of her support for the future of the collection and where she would want it, she did make arrangements to leave her personal collection on indefinite loan to the archives. It was her way of saying that she believed in the archives, believed in the staff, and ultimately hoped that both collections would be here together. And so she would be so pleased to now see them ultimately both on display and accessible at the archives. Again, it's bittersweet that she is not here to see this, but I think I speak for my family when I say there's a part of us that believes it might not have happened without her help from above, truthfully. You know, she had a hand in this, and I think we all feel and believe that. So the Abrams Foundation is so pleased to now have the Abrams collection housed within the archives. While much of your conference is focused on the past and researching the past, this moment is really about the future. We look forward to future growth of the collection and new and exciting programs that I'm sure will come down the road. So thank you to Sandra and to Mark for all of the hard work you did to make this happen. And we're so excited about the future, and we're thrilled to have Chris on hand, and just want to say thank you to all of you for being here.
We've been through some rough times, and we all have had to make some really tough decisions in state government as we've lost resources, as we've been challenged. It's said that a good organization always goes back to its mission in those times, and that's really why we're here today. The Historical Center's mission begins by saying that it builds partnerships and collaborations to preserve and interpret Michigan's history. None of this would not have happened without partnership and collaboration. The Genealogy Council, who educated us, who talked to us, we hope we listened well, who were patient with us, who partnered with us, who have contributed dollars to make this happen, as well as their support. Obviously, the Abrams Family Foundation has been absolutely key. And the Library of Michigan, as a partner going through the same kind of stress and challenge. I can honestly say that we never had a day about this collection that we were at each other about it. It has been a very collaborative thing, and I think that has been a strong thing. But the last part of our mission is the really important part about this collection. And the last part of our mission is why we do these things. And that is to help people discover, enjoy, and find inspiration in their past. And you all knew Barbara. I got to meet her a couple of times briefly. Passion, discovery, excitement, and I've seen it in all of you, that search until you find just that thing you were looking for, and all of a sudden a whole new body of things that you need to look for opens up to you. But that's what it's about, and that's the joy of this, and it's our joy and our pleasure to be able to have a place where you can do that, and it helps you do that. And it does, as I said, this is our mission, to really help people do their own discovery and find their own inspiration. So as we are rededicating this collection today, we are dedicating it not to Barbara Brown, but to the passion for discovery and the inspiration that we hope that by our care of this collection, not just this young lady here, but lots and lots of young ladies for generations to come, and young men, will be able to use this collection as it grows and find their heritage, find their inspiration, and find their passion. Change is hard, and navigating change is hard. And I want to say a special thank you to Cynthia Grostek. She drew the short straw of being your president in some ways. She was your president during a very tough time, and she has been wonderful to work with during that time. And I appreciate that, Cynthia, very, very much. And thank you for the phone calls, the concern, but also the willingness to help explain and help make this work. We really appreciate that. And I also, again, want to thank the Library of Michigan. Carol Wallenberg is here from the Department of Education, for they too have been real partners in this navigation. We aren't done yet, and we know that. And so my last thing to say to you is stick with us, keep helping us, talk to us, tell us what you believe we need to be doing, be patient when we can't do it fast enough, but know that we are very much committed to this collection and to all the collections we have that help do your research and so much other research. I've talked about how what you do is terribly important to you, to the individual, to your families, but it is also very important to the big picture of history of what we all do. Because if there's one thing we've learned in the museum business that's right around the corner, it's that if you want people to get interested in history, you better tell them about real people in real places. And the work you do helps us find those people and know what happened to them. And so my last thing for all of you who have found a Michigan Civil War veteran in your research, over the next year and a half, I'd really like to know what happened to them in the next 20 years, because we've got an exhibit coming up in a little over a year about the end of the Civil War and after. So there is your challenge. That's why.
When I talk tomorrow.
All right, I will come here and talk tomorrow, but I will find out. Because what you do is so important to the big picture as well. So thank you so much for all you've done. We look forward, as I said, to getting this done. The last person I have to thank is standing over here to my right. I get to be the person out in front, but Mark Harvey is the guy who's done the work and done the figuring out. And Mark, you've done a great job. Thank you.
I actually omitted a couple thank yous that I want to cover before we go any further. The entire Archives of Michigan staff, whenever I ask them to do something, and it's usually, you know, at the last moment, they never complain to my face. But if you guys could show your hands and then you spread out, Julie, Jess, Bob, Megan. Jill's actually working right now. And we have a couple people out. We couldn't do what we do without you guys, so thank you very much. And get used to their faces because they're going to be the ones helping you. But then also Pat Clark from the Michigan History Foundation. A lot of times, you know, we are able to do things differently here, whether it's the Seeking Michigan website, or wireless, or education programs, or I mean, the list goes on and on. And the reason we can do that is because of the support and energy from the Michigan History Foundation and Pat Clark is the director. Thank you very much for your support, and they're going to be a key to the future of this collection and the relationship with the Abrams Foundation. So thank you, Pat. Okay, so we've come to our ribbon cutting, and I'd like to just, a couple logistics. I'm going to have a few representatives come up to cut the ribbon, and I'm going to move over here a minute to take pictures, but after the ribbon cutting is completed, we do have some light refreshments. I'm also going to give some brief tours, so just as a matter of logistics, after the ribbon cutting, I'm going to gravitate over here, so if you want to be the first group for me just to walk around and describe what we're doing here, I'll be waiting for you over there. So, Chris, would you come up? I know I didn't tell you about this, so.
Get to work.
You get used to it.
Just don't run with the scissors.
Are you going to cut from the back or the front?
We're going to cut from the side, okay. We each get to make a cut in this, right?
Yes.
You tell us when you're ready, Mark.
Here, Chris, face us though. Not ready. Okay.
Ready?
No. It's too fancy of a camera. Okay, ready.
1,
2,
3.
Oh, my scissors aren't cutting. Can we buy new scissors?
If you all can hold the ribbon.
Okay, there you go.